John was a wealthy businessman who had a bad habit. He would often sleep with the housemates who worked in his mansion. He thought he was being discreet, but the maids would often talk among themselves about his actions. One day, John hired a new maid named Uju. She was beautiful and young, with a mysterious smile. Joy couldn't resist her, and soon he was making his moves. But Uju was not like the other maids. She was quiet and reserved, and she seemed to be hiding a secret. John didn't care. He just wanted to add her to his list of conquests. One night, John sneaked into Uju's room and tried to seduce her. At first, she resisted, but eventually she gave in. But as soon as they finished, Uju's face changed. She smiled wickedly and whispered something strange into John's ear. "You will never be with another woman again," she said. John laughed it off, but soon he realized that something was wrong. He couldn't perform anymore. He tried with other women, but nothing worked. John was devastated. He didn't know what to do. He went to see a doctor and a spiritualist, but no one could help him. And then he received a message from Uju. "You should have left me alone," she said. "Now you will never be with another woman again." John was shocked. He realized that Uju was not just a maid, but a powerful woman with secrets and power. He couldn't understand. John was desperate. He tried everything to regain his manhood, but nothing worked. He became desperate and isolated, unable to face the world. One day, he received a visit from an old friend who told him about a powerful spiritualist who lived in a remote village. The spiritualist was known for his ability to solve mysterious problems. John traveled to the village, hoping to find a solution. The spiritualist listened to his story and nodded thoughtfully. "I know what happened to you," he said. "Uju is a priestess of a marine kingdom. She was sent to punish you for your wrongdoing." John was shocked. He never thought that his action would have consequences. "What can I do?" he asked. "You must find Uju and apologize," the specialist said. "You must also perform a ritual to cleanse yourself of your past mistake." John set out to find Uju, but she was nowhere to be found. He searched for months, finally tracing her to a remote town. When he found her, she was unchanged, still beautiful and mysterious, but this time she looked at him with pity. "You should have left me alone," she said again. "But since you are here, let's start the ritual." John agreed, desperate to regain his manhood. Uju took him to a secret shrine, where they performed a mysterious ritual. The ritual was intense and involved many sacrifices. John was forced to confront his past mistake and beg for forgiveness. Uju led the ritual, her eyes gleaming with a fierce inner power. As they finished, John felt a strange sensation. It was as if his body was being transformed, his manhood restored. But Uju's smile was mysterious. "It's not that easy," she said. "You must still face the consequences of your actions." John was confused. He thought the ritual would solve everything. "What do you mean?" he asked. "You will have to wait and see," Uju replied. "But know this, your life will never be the same again." John left the shrine, feeling both hopeful and fearful. He didn't know what the future held, but he knew he had to make amends for his past. As he returned home, he noticed strange things happening around him. Women who were once attracted to him now shunned him. His business began to fail. His life was falling apart. John was devastated. He had thought that regaining his manhood would solve all his problems. But now, he realized that Uju's cause was far more complex. One day, he received a mysterious package with no return address. Inside, he found a mirror and a note, and the note that reads, "Look at yourself, John." John was hesitant, but something compelled him to look into the mirror. When he looked into the mirror, he saw something, and he was shocked. His reflection showed a man who was old, wrinkled and weak. John stumbled backward, horrified. He realized that Uju's curse had not only taken his manhood, but also his youth and vitality. Determined to break the curse, John embarked on a journey to find Uju again. He searched far and wide, finally tracing her to a remote island. As he arrived, he saw Uju standing on the shore, her eyes gleaming with a fierce power. "You should have left me alone," she said again. John fell to his knees, begging for forgiveness. Uju looked at him for a long time, then nodded. "I will lift the curse," she said. "But you must promise to use your second chance wisely." John agreed, and Uju waved her hand. The curse was lifted, and John felt his youth and vitality returned. But as he stood up, he saw something that made his blood run cold. Uju was gone, but in her place stood a figure who looked exactly like him. This was Uju's last trick, and the figure disappeared. John returned to his life with a newfound sense of purpose. He worked hard to repair relationships, mend past hurts, and use his words and influence for good. As he looked back on his journey, John realized that his struggles had taught him a valuable lesson. That the true strength lies not in power or privilege, but in compassion, empathy, and kindness. John's story spread, inspiring others to reflect on their own actions and choices. And though he still faced challenges, he faced them with humility and a willingness to learn. One day, John received a mysterious package again, with no return address. Inside, he found a mirror and a note that read, "John, look at yourself. See the man you have become." John smiled, Knowing that he had finally found redemption, he looked into the mirror and saw a man who had learned from his mistake and was determined to make a positive impact on the world. Moral of the story: our choices have consequences, but it's never too late to make amends and start anew. True strength lies not in power or privilege, but in compassion, empathy, and kindness. By learning from our mistakes and working to be better, we can create a brighter future for ourselves and those around us. Here comes the end of our video. Thank you for watching my video. If you enjoyed the story, please subscribe, like, and turn on the notification bell so as to be notified when I post another video. Bye!